Stop playing. Stop playing. This just happened. Somebody call Mona Scotchung because the latest love and hip-hop drama has officially gone from reality TV to a full-on crime scene. Kirk Frost and Mendeecees Harris in handcuffs. Yes, you heard that right? Not gossip, not a rumor. Arrested after a brawl so violent, so chaotic, it makes every reunion fight you've ever seen look like kindergarten recess. How did we get here? Two grown men, husbands, fathers, businessmen, dragged out of a luxury Atlanta nightclub-like out-of-control rookies at WWE. Witnesses say the chaos was like something out of a movie. Fists flying, glasses shattering, women screaming, security helpless, and cell phones capturing every second. And at the center, Kirk and Mendeecees throwing punches, screaming threats, refusing to back down. The fallout immediate. Viral clips exploding on Instagram, Twitter Spaces hosting all night. Debates and insiders leaking shocking details that make this mess sound even darker. Who started it? Was Yandy the reason? Did Kendra fuel the fire? And where was Rashida when Kirk once again humiliated her in front of the entire world? But here's the craziest part. What happened after the fight is even messier. We're talking mugshots, secret recordings, police reports, celebrity reactions. And betrayal so raw it could end marriages, END careers, and END friendships for good. This isn't just another scandal. This is the biggest meltdown in love and hip-hop history, and trust me, you won't believe what really went down. It all began in the heart of Atlanta, at one of the city's most elite nightclubs, the kind of place where rappers flex their chains, NBA players toss money like confetti, and Love and Hip Hop cast members show up just to make sure their names stay in the blogs. The night was supposed to be glamorous bottle service, music blasting, everyone dressed to kill. But by the end of it, it turned into the kind of disaster that TMZ dreams of. With Kirk Frost and Mendeecees Harris at the center of the most humiliating scandal of their lives. Witnesses say Kirk was already doing the one thing everyone knows. He shouldn't cozying up with a woman who was definitely not Rashida. Drinks in hand, whispering in her ear, laughing like a teenager. Kirk acted like his whole marriage wasn't dangling by a thread. People around him were shaking their heads, muttering, "Here we go again. This man don't learn." And across the room, Mendeecees was watching, arms crossed, already irritated from a day-long blow-up with Yandy over old wounds that never healed. The infamous fake wedding scandal, the endless trust issues, all of it had him heated before he even stepped foot in the club. So when Mendeecees spotted Kirk acting a fool with another woman, something in him snapped. Normally, he might have let it slide, but Yandy and Rashida are tight. And he knew if Yandy found out he saw it and stayed silent, it would be another fight waiting for him at home. So instead of sipping his drink and minding his business, Mendeecees stormed across the VIP section like a man possessed. "You embarrassing your wife again?" he shouted loud enough for the whole section to hear. Heads turned instantly. The DJ even pulled the volume down for a split second, like the music itself knew drama had arrived. Kirk tried to brush it off. "Man, come on, you know how it is," he muttered, smirking like the whole thing was just innocent fun. But Mendeecees wasn't buying it. His voice got louder, more furious. "Nah, ain't no, you know how it is. You out here clowning your family again? Rashida don't deserve this, bro, she don't." And instead of shutting up, instead of calming the situation, Kirk snapped back with the one-line guarantee to ignite a war. "Man, worry about your own marriage before coming at me?" The crowd collectively gasped, because everybody knows you don't tell Mendeecees to worry about his own marriage. That's a trigger. His past, his prison time, the years of struggle. With Yandy, all of it bubbled up at once. Witnesses say his whole face changed. He lunged. And just like that, Atlanta's most upscale nightclub turned into a war zone. Glasses went flying, bottles shattered. Women screamed and ducked his fists. Started flying. Security rushed in, but it was too late. Mendices had Kirk pinned, throwing wild punches while Kirk clawed and shoved, yelling curses that echoed over the music. And then, because no love and hip-hop disaster is complete without him, young Jock jumped into the mix. Witnesses say he tried to break it up, but instead he just made things worse. "Y'all wildin' man. Kirk been messy for years," Jock shouted, his voice carrying over the chaos. And just like that, Mendices turned his fury toward him. The fight spread like wildfire. Tables flipping, drinks spilling, random people getting shoved as security tried to break the men apart. That's when Kendra, Jock's wife, walked in. She froze at the sight. Her husband tangled in chaos. Mendices throwing punches, and Kirk, oh Lord, with a woman at his side who Kendra immediately recognized. The same woman who had been whispered about in Atlanta circles for weeks as Kirk's new distraction. Kendra lost it. She started screaming, pointing fingers, trying to lunge at the woman herself. Security had their hands full, and the scene was spiraling so badly that someone had already called the cops. By the time flashing blue and red lights flooded the street outside, the nightclub was in full-blown meltdown mode. Officers stormed in, shoving through the panicked crowd, and within seconds the chaos shifted from fists to handcuffs. Kirk tried to talk his way out of it, putting on his calmest voice, "Man, this ain't nothing but a small miscommunication." But the police weren't having it. Witnesses had already told them exactly who started it, and the surveillance cameras told. The rest? Mendices Harris. "Kirk Frost, you're under arrest," an officer barked, slapping cuffs on both men as they kept yelling over each other, still trying to get the last word even as they were dragged toward the squad cars. But the night wasn't done delivering shocks. As Kirk was hauled out, Kendra tried to swing at the woman again, screaming, "You home-wrecking tramp." Security caught her mid-swipe, but the cops had seen enough. "That's it, she's coming too," one officer said, cuffing Kendra and shoving her into the back of a squad car. And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, Yandy made her move. The moment she saw Mendices in cuffs, she charged toward the officers, screaming, "Oh hell no, y'all not taking my husband?" The cops turned, warning her to back off or face the same fate. And Yandy, calculating as ever, froze. She knew. When two pick her battles, so there they were. Kirk Frost, Mendices Harris, Kendra Robinson, three major love and hip-hop stars, shoved into squad cars as flashing cameras and cell phones caught every humiliating second. By midnight, their mugshots were already circulating online. Twitter erupted. TikTok was flooded with edits. Instagram was wall-to-wall memes. One viral post read, "Kirk Frost stays embarrassing Rashida." But this time, he brought backup. Another had Kirk and Mendices mugshots side by side with the caption, "Love and Hip Hop. Prison Edition. Coming soon to VH1." And while the internet roasted them, the fallout behind the scenes was even uglier. Word spread that Rashida refused to answer Kirk's calls from jail, hanging up on him mid-sentence. Insiders say she told friends, "He's on his own this time. I'm done saving him." Meanwhile, Yandy was torn between bailing Mendices out immediately or letting him sit and learn his lesson. And Jock, he went live on Instagram ranting, "Man, this is crazy. They locking people up over some lil club drama?" But the real shocker came hours later when leaked audio from inside the police station surfaced online. In the recording, you can clearly hear Kirk shouting, "This ain't even about me. It's about Yandy and Mendices not knowing how to handle their own problems." The audio sent fans into a frenzy. It was Kirk trying to pin the entire mess on Mendices. Was this the first crack in their so-called friendship? The brawl had already blown up marriages, careers, and reputations. But that audio leak hinted at something even darker. Mendices fired back instantly. "Don't you dare put this on me. You're the one out here with side chicks in public, embarrassing Rashida like it's a hobby." His voice carried down the hallway, loud enough that the other detainees, started banging on their bars, chanting, "Fight, fight, fight." It was a circus. Guards threatened to move them into solitary if they didn't stop, but the damage was already done. The animosity between them was no longer just a nightclub incident. It was a fracture in a long-standing alliance, the kind of fallout that reality TV producers only dream of. Meanwhile, Kendra sat in the women's holding cell, mascara streaking down her cheeks, screaming into the void. "I didn't even do anything. I was defending my man, and now I'm in here with these women who are looking at me like I'm crazy." She kept pacing, ranting about how she'd worked so hard as a lawyer only to end up locked up herself. One inmate allegedly taunted her, "Bet you wish you never married that man now." And somewhere outside the building, cameras were waiting. Every single move from their mugshots to their bail hearings was being documented, ready to hit the blogs. But what nobody expected was the leak that came next. Around 3 a.m., a voice note began circulating on Twitter, allegedly recorded by an insider who overheard Kirk during booking. In the audio, Kirk's voice is clear as day. "Man, I swear Yandi set this up. She knew Mendices was already mad at me. She pushed him to snap on me so she could look like the victim later. Don't get it twisted. This ain't no accident." Internet exploded. Fans didn't know whether to believe it, but the narrative was too juicy to ignore. Threads lit up instantly. "Is Yandi the puppet master behind this whole mess?" One user tweeted, "Yandi been pulling strings since season 1, don't sleep." Another posted, "Kirk blaming Yandi when he's the one cheating again is peak gaslighting." But while fans debated, insiders claimed Yandi herself caught wind of the leak and she was livid. At 5 a.m., she reportedly showed up at the jail, stomping through the entrance in designer heels, demanding to see Mendices. Witnesses say she was yelling at the top of her lungs. "So now Kirk got the nerve to drag my name into this. You want to play dirty? Bet." Guards kept her away, but she made her presence known. And when Rashida finally showed up hours later, she wasn't there to support Kirk. She walked past the lobby, sunglasses covering her red eyes, and coldly told reporters, "I don't got nothing to say about him right now. Nothing." By morning, the Love and Hip Hop cast wasn't just dealing with an arrest. They were dealing with a full-blown PR disaster. Blogs posted headlines like, "Love and Hip Hop stars Kirk and Mendices rested after nightclub brawl, wives refused to save them." Meme pages churned out edits of Rashida sipping tea with the caption, "She's finally free." And then came the court hearing. The men were hauled into Fulton County Court the next afternoon, still in the same clothes they were arrested in. The judge's face said it all, sheer exhaustion. He didn't want to deal with reality stars turning his courtroom into a circus, but the press had packed in anyway. Cameras flashing, reporters whispering updates live on Twitter. The prosecutor painted the fight as reckless endangerment. These men turned a public establishment into a war zone. Bottles shattered, people injured, property damaged. They are not above the law because of their fame. Kendra's attorney, ironically, a colleague she'd worked with before, argued she was only defending herself and her husband. But when the prosecutor played footage of her lunging at Kirk's alleged mistress, gasps filled the room. The clip made her look unhinged, screaming insults while security restrained her, and then it happened. The betrayal that nobody saw coming. During testimony, Mendices' lawyer revealed something shocking. He told the court that his client only got involved in the fight because Kirk provoked him with an insult about his marriage, calling Yandi fake, and saying, "At least Rashida ain't marrying me for TV ratings." The courtroom erupted. Reporters sprinted outside to tweet it instantly. Breaking, Kirk accused of calling Yandi's marriage fake during fight. Yandi leaped out of her seat, screaming, "That's a lie! Don't you put that on him!" The bailiffs rushed to hold her back, the judge slamming his gavel to restore order. But the damage was already done. No, it wasn't just Kirk and Mendices. Against each other, it was their wives at war, dragged into the public spectacle. Outside, Rashida refused to comment. But a source close to her whispered to blogs, she knew something like this would happen eventually. She's embarrassed, but not surprised. Meanwhile, Yandi doubled down. On Instagram Live that evening, she declared, "If Kirk thinks he can drag my name and get away with it, he got another thing coming. Don't play with me." The live instantly hit 100,000 viewers with comments pouring in Yandi. Drag him and this about to get ugly. And it did, because that night, another leak dropped. This time, actual footage from inside the jail. A guard allegedly sold it to a tabloid for a hefty check. In the grainy clip, you can see Kirk and Mendices still arguing in their cells, with Kirk shouting, "You think Yandi loyal? Wait till she find her next storyline." The clip went viral in minutes. The reaction was nuclear. Fans were split, right down the middle. Some said Kirk was just deflecting from his own cheating ways. Others believed he was exposing the truth about Yandi's manipulative side. And as the internet debated, Rashida's silence grew louder. People started flooding her comments. "Sis, blink twice if you're filing for divorce." But perhaps the most chilling twist came when Jock, who had been at the fight from the start, suddenly went live with his own story. Sitting in his car looking exhausted, Jock told his followers, "Man, y'all don't even know half of it. Kirk been moving reckless for months. And now Mendices is finding out things he wasn't supposed to. The truth is about to come out. And when it does, whoo, y'all gonna be shocked?" That cryptic warning sent social media spiraling. What truth was Jock hinting at? Was it about Kirk's side chick? About Yandi? Or something even bigger? By the end of part 2, the love and hip-hop universe wasn't just dealing with a fight or even an arrest. They were dealing with betrayal, courtroom drama, viral leaks, and insider claims that something explosive was still hiding in the shadows. And when Jock dropped his final line, "Trust me, story ain't over," fans knew he wasn't lying. Because what came next would shake the franchise to its core. Jock's warning echoed across the internet. Like a ticking bomb, the truth is about to come out, and when it does, you're all gonna be shocked. Fans replayed the clip 100 times, dissecting every word, every pause, every look in his eyes. What did he know? What was he holding back? Within hours, hashtags like #KirkExposed, #YandiScheme, and #LoveAndHipHopSecrets trended worldwide. Meme pages turned Jock's clip into GIFs with captions like, "Me waiting for Jock's tea and drop it already." But what nobody expected was that Jock wasn't bluffing. He had receipts. The very next evening, Jock went live again, this time with his phone balanced on the dashboard, his face half lit by the glow of streetlights. His tone was heavy, almost regretful. "Look, I ain't trying to destroy nobody's life," he began. "But Kirk and Mendices dragged me into this mess, and now the truth gotta be known." He held up his phone, swiping to play an audio file. What played next made the internet stop cold. It was a recorded conversation, allegedly between Kirk and a woman, but not just any woman. The voice sounded eerily like Yandi's in the clip. Kirk can be heard saying, "If Mendices finds out we both finished, you promised this would stay between us." The woman's voice replied, "Relax, he'll never know." This is bigger than him. This is about building something bigger than Rashida or Mendices. Gasps filled Jock's live stream comments. Thousands typed at once. "That's Yandi? What did she do? Nah, this can't be real." But Jock didn't stop there. He leaned closer to the camera and said, "This ain't no fake clip. Kirk been messing around with someone close to the circle, and it ain't just a side chick. This goes deeper. The people y'all see Meanwhile, Mendices reportedly stormed out of the house after hearing the leaked audio. Neighbors told blogs they saw him throwing a suitcase in his car and peeling off in the middle of the night. Yandi tried to get ahead of the storm by going live on Instagram, swearing up and down that the recording was fake. "I don't know what kind of desperate stunt this is," she said, her voice shaking, "but I never betrayed my husband." People will do anything for clout. But the problem was fans didn't believe her. Screenshots began circulating showing Kirk and Yandi spotted together at private dinners in the past year. Old photos resurfaced of them at industry events, standing a little too close, laughing a little too hard. Conspiracy threads pulled every detail apart, with captions like, "We should have seen it coming." And then came the nuclear bomb. A blogger released text messages allegedly between Kirk and Yandi that hinted at late-night meets and coded messages like, "Keep this between us." At that point, the story spun completely out of control. Rashida was reportedly in tears, refusing to answer calls from producers. Mendices allegedly told a friend, "If this is true, I'll never forgive her. This ain't just about cheating. This is about respect." And Jock, watching the chaos unfold, simply tweeted, "Told y'all." But as shocking as the leaks were, the fallout was even worse. VH1 producers held an emergency meeting, debating whether to air this storyline or scrap it entirely to avoid lawsuits. But word leaked from inside the production team that they were leaning toward airing it because the drama was too big to ignore. "This could be the highest-rated season in years," one insider whispered. "We can't waste this." Meanwhile, fans begged Rashida to leave Kirk once and for all. Tweets like, "Sis, divorce papers now, and he's embarrassed you for the last time," flooded her comments. Hashtags like #free, RASHEEDA started trending. But Rashida, instead of filing, quietly did something nobody expected. She allegedly met with Yandi face-to-face. Insiders claim the two women had a private meeting at a restaurant in Atlanta, away from cameras. Witnesses say the conversation was heated, with Rashida demanding the truth and Yandi swearing she was innocent. At one point, Rashida allegedly slammed her hand on the table and shouted, "You think I'm stupid? You think I don't see the pattern?" The restaurant staff had to escort them out. But by then, the rumor had already leaked. Rashida and Yandi were at war, and just when fans thought it couldn't get darker, another twist surfaced. A former Love and Hip Hop producer anonymously leaked an email claiming that Kirk and Yandi had been secretly working together for months to pitch a spin-off show without Rashida or Mendices. The alleged plan: to center themselves as the power couple taking over the spotlight completely. That revelation changed everything. Suddenly, the narrative wasn't just about cheating, it was about betrayal for fame and money. Fans were stunned. They sacrificed their families for a storyline. This is evil on another level. By the end of the week, the entire cast was divided. Jock publicly sided with Rashida, posting, "She deserves better, period." Kendra, still reeling from her own arrest, tweeted cryptically, "Now y'all see who the real snakes are." Even Scrappy chimed in, writing, "Whole lot of fake energy in this circle." But the most haunting part came when Rashida posted one final video. Sitting in her car, eyes swollen from crying, she whispered, "This ain't over." The truth always comes out, and when it does, y'all gonna see just how dirty people really are. Then she ended the clip, leaving millions in suspense. Fans are still debating what's real, what's fake, and what's exaggerated for TV. But one thing is undeniable: the line between reality and betrayal has been completely shattered. And with VH1 cameras rumored to be rolling again, the next season promises to be the most explosive yet, because in the world of love and hip-hop, there are no heroes left, only survivors. And there you have it. The kind of betrayal, chaos, and destruction that even the wildest TV writers couldn't dream up. But the scary part? This isn't just a storyline. These are real marriages, real friendships, real lives being torn apart right in front of us. Kirk and Yandi's alleged betrayal, Rashida's silence that speaks louder than words, Mendices' heartbreak, Jock's jaw-dropping leaks, and the industry insiders whispering about spin-offs and secret deals. This is no longer just gossip. This is history being written in front of our eyes, and we are the only ones truly paying attention. The question now is simple. What happens next? Will Rashida finally walk away from Kirk for good? Will Mendeecees uncover the full truth about Yandi's alleged betrayal? Or will the industry silence everything before it gets completely out of control? Nobody knows. But one thing is certain. The next chapter is coming. It's going to be even darker than this. That's why you can't just sit back and watch quietly. If you want the truth to keep coming out, if you want every leak, every receipt, every explosive twist revealed, first, then you need to stay here with us. Hit that like button so this story spreads. Drop a comment with your thoughts, your theories, your predictions, because your voice matters in uncovering this chaos. And most importantly, subscribe right now and turn on all notifications. Because, trust me, you don't want to miss what's about to be revealed next.